The indigenous peoples of the Great Plains were the last American natives to lose their freedom and independence. The Plains peoples, among them the Crow, the Blackfeet, the Sioux, and the Comanche, were nomadic, horse-mounted warriors who had for generations chased massive herds of bison, buffalo, across the plains in nearly absolute freedom. These nomadic peoples of the Great Plains retained their freedom longer than nearly all other American Indians because they occupied land that for much of American history was dismissed by Euro-Americans as useless and of no value. The Plains peoples also retained their freedom longer than other native groups because they were some of the fiercest warriors in all of indigenous America. After the Civil War ended in 1865, however, Euro-Americans increasingly set their sights on the Great Plains. They were determined to shove the indigenous Plains peoples aside, to force them onto reservations, so that white settlement might penetrate further and further into the West. The American government sought to culturally transform the Plains peoples from nomadic, horse-mounted warriors into settled agriculturalists, farmers. They wanted to, as one leading reformer put it, kill the Indian and save the man. If this could not be accomplished, many Euro-Americans concluded, they would have to exterminate the peoples of the Plains. The American government pressured many Amerindians onto the reservations, but the Plains peoples, particularly the Sioux, fiercely resisted every effort to destroy their traditional way of life. In response, the American government employed the U.S. Army to hunt down the rebellious natives. The Army, which often found its men outmatched in its violent encounters with these natives, used modern military technology, year-long campaigns supplied by an increasingly elaborate railway system, collaboration with friendly native groups, and the systematic destruction of Indian horses and the wild buffalo on which the Plains culture was built, to force the natives into submission. By the late 1870s, nearly all of the Plains peoples had either been exterminated by warfare or disease, or they had been forced onto reservations, where they were pitifully dependent upon government handouts for their survival. In late 1890, at Wounded Knee Creek in South Dakota, the last gasp of Native American independence on the Great Plains was snuffed out by the American Army. Hundreds of Sioux, taken prisoner the day before, were shot and killed by the United States 7th Cavalry. Almost 400 years after Columbus had first encountered New World natives, the Indian Wars were over.